This is the very first year and the very first time that I hit Challenger after being Hardstuck in Diamond for the past 4 seasons, or 4 years if you will. Before that, I was on NA server and I was in Plat 1. That is just a quick background history of what I've been through. So right about now you might be asking, well, what is the point of all this? What are you trying to get at? Well, I'm trying to tell you guys how exactly did I break through and what changed. First and foremost, I actually had 2 accounts from very early on. It was Jerry and the Little Teapot, these 2 accounts. Jerry was actually my main. I had all the champions, all the skins on it, and I would just try to grind out games on this one and try to climb. And I felt really pressured. Whenever I play on this account, I felt so pressured, so stressed. So I'll go on Little Teapot and just do whatever the heck I want. And at some point this year, I was basically always trying to improve, always trying to look at streams and learning all the matchups, trying to just get better at top lane in general, at macro, micro, everything, decision making, and also my mentality was really improving because I was making videos as well. That actually helped a lot because I wanted to set a good example. Not that I was toxic ever, like I have max honor on Jerry account, which is like the orange one, and on this one I was like honor 4, but that's because I only play 1 game a day just to prevent decay. So the story goes like this. I was playing on Jerry account and then I was playing a Little Teapot, and every time I would just play back and forth because I would play games on Jerry and I would lose. It doesn't matter how well I did, I could play really well, I could go 10-0 and I would lose the game. It's ridiculous, right? Then I'll go on the Little Teapot on the exact same day, same sitting game right after that. And then I'll play, I'll win. I'll go back to Jerry, I'll lose. Go back to Teapot, I'll win. So it was at a point where this Teapot account had like a 60 to 70% win rate on Tryndamere, and this one was at like a 50 or like 49% or 48%. It was really bad. I would go on and then get masters, and then I'll go back to Jerry and then I'll lose. I actually played really well on this account, by the way. It's not like I played bad. I played almost perfectly in some of those games. I'll still lose. And then I would be like, what is going on? Maybe I just got lucky. So in my mind right now, I'm like, I am mastered here and I am just pure lucky. That's all there is to it. But you guys can see on the tier graph right here, I've actually maintained Challenger for 5 months straight, ever since April. All the way till now. Now it's September 2018. So 5 months in a row, I maintain it. It's not a fluke anymore. At least I hope it's not a fluke because I don't want to jinx it, you know? There's still 2 months to go before the season ends, and I could possibly get my Challenger rewards if I could maintain it, because it's really stringent. Like, you have to play 1 game a day every day or else you'll decay. And if you decay, then you lose 100 LP a day. It's really brutal and it's really dumb. That's what you have to do. On average, you have to play every single day. So it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of the games. I only have 1 shot every day and I have to make it count. So you guys can see in ranked solo queue, oh what the heck. So you guys can see in ranked solo queue, I have a lot of wins, and I want to show you guys a secret because I want you guys to stick around. So aside from pure luck, which is actually not luck anymore because there's actually a way around this. I feel like one of the most important things about my mentality in this game is that I'm humble and I try to always self-criticize. My ego is very low. It's not like, say for example, right now I'm Challenger, right? But I still don't think I'm a good player. I still think there's so much to improve on, and I still feel like all of these games I played, even though they're victories, I feel like I played like not that great, you know? I could do a lot better, and I'm always looking for ways to improve. So the most important thing you can ever do for yourself, if you ever want to improve, is you watch VODs or you watch streamers. For me in particular, because I'm a top lane main, I watched Fogged and I watched TF Blade. Those are the 2, and it's like really early on. You guys can see if you rewind to the beginning of my YouTube channel where I started making Trin videos. I was actually building Fidget Spinner, which is from Fog, so I was watching him very early on. And all the way till now, I have to thank him for getting Challenger because he was actually one of the biggest factors of me improving. And then there's also TF Blade, which helped me a lot with macro. Like, I would watch his VODs and it'll help me a lot. On top of that, if you guys, for example, if you're an ADC main, if you're a mid lane, jungle main, support, I think support Nasty, if you watch Nasty, I'll look it up for you guys. So yeah, this guy, Nasty, he makes a lot of support videos. He's like master tier, he's really good, he's from the NA server. And watch him for support advice. And then there's LS Coach, if you want to be good at jungle, he has a lot of videos, but I'm not too sure which videos are actually helpful because he has so many videos and some of them out there are really helpful, but you just have to look for it. If you can't, then you can always look at I Will Dominate. I think he's currently Challenger. Make sure that he's playing on the right account. If he's playing on his Challenger account, then you watch him. If he's not, then he's probably troll. But if he's not, then you should take his plays with a grain of salt. Safe or fails, you can't find a streamer and you can't find any Challenger YouTubers that make content on the role that you want and the champion that you want. You can do this. So you go into your game client, and what you want to do is click on Profile, Ranked, and then you go to Challenger, Top Solo, and Duo Players. Then after that, you just go down the list and then you look at these guys. look at the top champions played, and then you see, hey, do I want Yasuo, Ari, LeBlanc, just go through these. And then say, for example, you found one, okay? Eventually you go down the list and you find someone, hey, I want to learn GP. Okay, so hopefully he has it because that's his top played champion. This client is actually something else. So I guess you manually type it in if that doesn't work like that, and then just go into match history, right? Right now, you can download the VODs of everyone that plays, so... Okay, unfortunately he doesn't have GP, so we'll just go to the next person. And then once you watch enough, maybe next day they're going to update, because these guys are challenger players, they have to play very often. If they don't, they decay. See, I decay in one day, I have to play tomorrow again, even though I just played today. Because I know this guy is a Urgot one trick, he's definitely going to be playing Urgot in his match history, so you go shock. I have to type it in because this game client's really buggy. But they're always buggy. Even if you go into the shop, it'll probably just crash. And then you look at this, see, he has a Urgot game, so you just click download. Oh, he has another one, click download. Oh, he has another one, click download. You guys get the idea, then you watch it, and then you look very closely at the matchup, at the laning phase, at how he positions in lane, and when he goes aggressive. Look at the enemy's cooldowns, just study it like crazy, know exactly what to do. After you watch 1 or 2 VODs, jump into a game, play it, try to apply it, and then you'll probably fail at it, then go back and watch the VODs again, or watch new VODs, and then you guys get the idea. Rinse and repeat, and make sure you know exactly what his mindset is. Like, why is he doing the things he's doing? Because you don't really get an explanation since he's not a streamer, it's a VOD, but you guys can work it out, You guys will get the idea. When he teleports, why is he teleporting? Maybe he just recalled, he's walking back to lane, he sees a teleport opportunity. Maybe he's pushed out the wave into the enemy tower, he backs away and he teleports. Those are the 2 best times to teleport. Those are just examples. Study his build, make sure you know that he's building because of the matchup or because he just builds every single game. Most cases for Urgot in particular is Black Cleaver into Frozen Mallet. That's just a build that he builds every single time. Okay, so now that we got VODs out of the way, you guys have no excuses, because if you can't find the streamer or the YouTuber that does the champion you want, you can just go into your solo queue ladder. There's 200 players and you'll eventually find someone that plays that role and plays that champion. And if it's really that bad of a champion, you consider making an account on the Korean server or on the NA server or whatever server that you think has the champion that you want, and then you just do the same thing but on a level 1 account in a different server. Look through the challenger ladder and rinse and repeat. Okay, so this is a trick that I've been doing on my challenger account every single game. What I'll do is, once you go into champion select, everyone that joins the lobby will be like this guy, like Gank Machine joins the lobby, the little teapot has joined the lobby, and then you just copy all of that and then you just paste it into op.gg. As you guys can see on the top of the screen, that's where it is. It just like gets rid of the has joined the lobby part and every name is just placed in, and then you guys can see all the stats. So for example, in this very first game, it was a dodge game, but I'll just tell you guys why. So Gank Machine, he plays Nocturne, Lee Sin, that's great. He locked in like Graves jungle, that's fine. I mean, it's not great. He's on a 2-game loss streak, which is not very relevant. I got top lane, I was Tryndamere, that's fine. This guy was actually unranked. I only refreshed this page now, but he was unranked. And then he had no champions played, so he was a wild card. He was basically a transfer, because the only way you can get into like D1, D2 or Challenger Elo is if you transfer if you're unranked. So I asked him in lobby, hey, what's your main role? And then he's like, I'm a jungle main. But in that lobby, he was actually Kai'Sa ADC. He locked in as Kai'Sa and he was ADC role. So that's a big red flag right there. Then you have this guy, Alex. He's a top lane main. Use your middle mouse button. This is what I do. Middle mouse button on his name and opens a new tab. And then after that, you see he plays Irelia Jax. He doesn't even play Lee Sin, so he's just a top lane main. And what happened was Irelia was banned. So he played some sort of random ass AP champion like Ryze. He played like Ryze. Oh, do you see Ryze in this history? No, you don't. So that's red flag number 2. That's already enough. Like red flag number 1's already enough to dodge, but that's 2 red flags. And then you go to the support, which was Nutty Man. And then you look at this guy. He's a Mumu one trick, but he plays Blitzcrank sometimes. So you know what, I'll let that slide, that's fine, but 2 red flags is a dodge. So on like 2 or 3 seconds, actually 3 seconds, don't risk it at 2, because I've dodged at 2 seconds and the game still went through and I lost. So 2 red flags is a dodge. And then this was the next game, played this today. I got my role, top lane, and then you have this guy, he was Jhin ADC. That was fine. This guy's a Xerath one trick, but he was playing Vel'Koz, which is a secondary support champion, that's fine as well. Then we have this guy who is like a Talon one trick, and he was playing Talon, 70% win rate, great, right? And then this guy is a Kled one trick. He was jungle, but if you click in and you look at Jellycup, he actually does play... Okay, it's not in the history, but I know for a fact because everyone knows each other in Challenger. I know that he plays a lot of jungle Kled as well, especially on his other accounts. So I know that everything was good to go, and that's why I played this game. And you know what? What was my score? 1-2-8. Because there was no red flags, I don't have to do that well to win. You guys see, I just don't have to feed. I just have to carry my weight, get good CS, keep taking objectives. And as long as I'm playing sound, like I don't have to play great, I will win. This first game that I dodged, it was probably going to be a loss. But I just avoided that. I took the -3 LP. Always check and you can get rid of all the unlucky games. Like you can literally get rid of all of them. Even if it's -10 LP, if you have 2 red flags, definitely dodge. Don't care, just dodge. So that's why I've been able to maintain Challenger like with relative ease, you know. So far, it's been working for 5 months straight. So hopefully it will just keep working for another 2 months and then I'll be good to go. But at the same time, I'm always looking at these Challenger streams, always looking to improve and keep up with everything that's going on. Realistically, I'm only playing 1 game a day. You guys can see this 6 hours ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. You only need to play 1 game a day tops. You could actually play 2 games a day and then you can not play the next day because you can bank up to 10 days. So for those people that are saying, oh, in order to get high elo, you need to spam games, that's definitely not true at all. Like, I don't have 1,000 games. The final thing I want to answer for you guys is, how do you become just like me? Like, how do you become Challenger? And I want to answer that for you guys because I think that will be very helpful. So the number 1 thing you should do is limit your champion pool to 1 champion. And I'm not saying you should one trick either. You should just play that champion pretty much every single time unless you have to change, then you have 1 or 2 backup champions. So say for example, my one is Tryndamere. I will play Tryndamere every single game. I'll know all the matchups inside out. I'll know how to play in every single situation. I'll be very good at it and I'll just be better than the enemy top laner that has like a big champion pool of like 5 to 10 champions. My 1 champion will be able to beat all of his 10 champions or at least go even. Let's say mid to late game, I'll be able to out-rotate them, take objectives and just be more impactful than them. So that's why you should always just stick to 1 champion. And the thing with the backup champions is, for me, I have Pantheon and I'm starting to work on Jax. So those are 3 champions that I very rarely play. I think Pantheon is my most comfortable and then Mundo is second. Those are champions that are very easy to play, very impactful, and they'll get you through high elo very easily. The other thing that is more relevant to people that have very high egos is you should get rid of your ego because it doesn't help at all. You don't want to think of yourself as better than others and therefore the enemy team or your own teammates are in the wrong and they're just bad players and that you're the better player. Like, don't just get rid of that mentality completely. Just be humble, see your own mistakes and just focus on your own mistakes. If they make mistakes, it's part of the game. But you making your own mistakes is not part of the game. That's the thing that you have to work on. Don't care about others in terms of what mistakes they make. You can congratulate them if they do well because that'll actually make them do even better. But don't do the opposite. So be self-critical, be humble, make sure that you're always trying to improve yourself. For me personally, it's quality over quantity. I don't spam games. I play very little games because I get fatigued. After I play like 3 or 4 games, I start to play worse and worse. That's just me. Some people can spam games and play thousands of games and be able to go from like Challenger to Diamond 5 and then back and then Diamond 5 again. Like all the way back and forth. I've seen those 1,000 game players. They tilt very easily, they play very inconsistently, and they're just not very good to have on your team. That's what I want to make a note of, is if you spam games, even like your own teammates will probably be like, oh, this guy is not going to play very consistently because you're playing too many games. You just can't play at your best if you spam game. Quality over quantity. That's something that I want to stress to you guys. And if you really want to play extra games, just make a Smurf. See, for example, for me, I go on Jerry account. I play and spam games there because I don't really care. And then on my little teapot account, I play it for quality. I make sure that I'm in the best possible mindset, then I'm not tilted, and then I play really, really well. Or at least I try to. Always make sure that you're watching VODs and keeping up. If it's either VODs from streams or VODs from the in-game client, make sure you watch those, or even YouTube. Just make sure you watch Challenger players. Don't waste your time watching people that say are in plat or are stuck in D5, because those guys make a lot of mistakes. Like, for beginners, sure, like say if you're in silver, if you're in bronze, like sure, but if you're really trying to get Challenger, you need to look up to Challenger players. That's the key. They play at a completely different level. Challenger and Diamond 5, completely different world. Lastly, just as a spectrum, my overall view is There's like a few qualities that a player should have, and everyone is different on a different scale, but generally challenger players will be better at all of them, and then bronze players will be very bad at all of them. And then you have your in-between where everyone's at a different level of each. So you have your game knowledge, your macro, mechanics, decision making, and also, I feel, your mental state or your ego. I feel like ego is just something that, in my opinion, is what helps me want to improve. If my ego is low, if I'm not all full of myself, I will always look to improve. And if you're not already rank 1 or if you're not faker, then you should have your ego very low so you can always be open to improving, you know? So I think that's super important. Those things can all be improved on by watching VODs and putting it into practice, then watching more VODs. And you know, just getting that quality practice in, not the quantity, it's all about the quality. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop that like because those help a lot, and also hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of my future content, also my community posts where I post very important stuff that are relevant to the channel, relevant to hopefully helping out you guys as well that are trying to climb. I'll think of another topic to talk about next time. I'll see you guys then. Cheers.